Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry there wasn't a video last week. I did film something but for some reason it got deleted. So this week is basically what I was going to do then, and it's my top 5 favourite palettes. I was going to do drugstore and high end, but then as I was going through I thought actually if I was to reach for my top 5 favourite palettes, I know what they would be. They're a mix of both, so we'll go through them now, starting with drugstore and then on to the sort of more high end ones. So this first one doesn't actually have a brand, it's just a palette that I got from eBay. It's sort of a neutrals palette. I believe it's like 28 shades. So this is the palette. I really like using this one. Sometimes I mix it with some of the ones from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette or with some of my singles. It's just a really good little palette here with lots of different neutrals. I'll just give you a couple of swatches. They're quite neutral sort of shadows, so I put them on the back of my hand. And I do, so you can see the colours there. They're not like necessarily crazy pigmented, all of them, but they give you a nice sort of subtle, soft shadow look and are very blendable. They work really well. Just swatch another couple. Most of these are matte as well. There are a couple of shimmery ones. And I'll swatch more of those now. So that's those ones. And as you find with a lot of palettes, the shimmery are generally the ones that are the most pigmented. I think a lot of companies find it difficult to get matte shadows really nice, but this palette cost me £3. So I'm not crazy bothered, and for £3 the quality is amazing. The next palette I have here, I've already kind of mentioned it, it is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, little JH. So pretty much everyone's seen this. It's a little bit messy, but that's what mine looks like. There you have it. And I have swatched this in full over on my Instagram, but I'll swatch a couple of shades for you. They are a little bit powdery, but this is just such an amazing palette. So there's the shades. Morphe shadows are like $2 each, I believe, if you buy them singly. The palettes usually run at about $26, $28, depending on which palette it is, but they're just amazing. I mean, I just love the shadows. I've got some singles as well, and I actually have a couple of the singles that I have in the palette, but they're just truly amazing. I know you can't get your hands on that anymore, so I'm really sorry. If you do see it, it's worth getting it. And if by any chance Morphe do bring the palette back, definitely worth getting, but you can get them all individually. The next one here may not be a surprise. It's actually the one I did my first go-to shadow look on YouTube, and it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture World Traveler palette. I don't know if this is still available, but I believe it was sort of 23, maybe £24, something like that, so it's really not expensive, and that's the palette. I generally, what I do is I put soft peach all over my crease, all over my lid even, Morocco in the crease. I put intense gaze all over my lid, and then pink champagne in the inner corner as a highlight. That's my general go-to look with this palette, but it's such a gorgeous palette, so many colours, and also your pops of colour as well. So let's do a couple of swatches for you. Morocco is just amazing. They've actually brought Intense Gaze out as a single shadow now, so you can buy that singly from Anastasia. There's a couple of the shadows, and I mean, for real, they're amazing. The quality is really good. They last really well. You can obviously use a primer. A primer will always help with shadow to make it last longer, depending on the primer. But they're such good quality. I've never found that it looks horrible or the shadow's not there as such by the end of the day. So definitely a good palette. Definitely well worth it. And it also comes with this little brush, this particular palette as well. So you've got a little sort of shader that side and a blender that side. So that's quite nice. The next one here, I think most people love this palette. If you have it, if you don't have it, you need it. This palette is one of my all-time favourite neutral shadow palettes. Probably find that most of my palettes are actually neutral, but this one is the Chocolate Bar palette from Too Faced. I don't have any of the other ones currently. I do like the look of the bonbons one, so I might get that, but I don't know. Obviously that's what it looks like, and it does smell amazing. Generally with this, I'm not sure on the names, I do have the little name one here, but I would usually use this one in the crease, this one all over the lid, then I would go for one of these shades here in the outer V, and then probably use this in the corner highlight, or this one. But they are lovely shadows. There's so many amazing colours in here. We'll just swatch a couple of them for you. There's a couple of them. I will do another couple as well. So that's what those ones look like. Look at that highlight. And sometimes with the shimmery shadows you can actually use them as a highlight as well, depending on your skin tone. Let's just get those shades off, and then I'll swatch another couple from this palette for you. I literally, if I go away, or if I'm going to do an eyeshadow look, I nearly always grab one of these 5 palettes, but especially this one. If I go away, this palette is always with me. Always. So another couple of shades. So there they are. Absolutely beautiful. If you don't have it, definitely recommend getting it. I believe it's £38. It might be 40. I think it's 38. But Debenhams often have little sales going on, get 10% off, things like that. Definitely well worth checking out. And the last one, if you've been following me on Instagram for any length of time, you'll probably know that this is one of my all-time favourite palettes. I got this, I think, just over a year ago, and I just love it. And it is the original Naked palette. Another one that I usually would have with me if I'm taking eyeshadows away. And it's just perfect. I mean, you can just go for a smoky look, you can go for a neutral look, you can even go for a nice light with these two here. Sometimes I like going for sort of just one shade look, and usually if I do that it will be Sidecar, because that is such a gorgeous shadow. I mean, look, it's so pretty. And then you have another couple, so I'll do Half Baked and Smog. Toasted is another gorgeous one in there. I mean, to be honest, generally you can't beat Urban Decay eyeshadows. Too Faced is pretty close, like they're pretty amazing. But from what I've tried with Urban Decay, you pretty much can't beat them. They're amazing. I mean, you can get really good products for the price. I mean, the Makeup Revolution and MUA dupes of the Naked palette are really, really good, especially when you think they're only sort of £4 in comparison to the £40 you pay for the Naked palette. But I mean, I'd still probably reach for this over them. If I'm doing a tutorial, I'm probably more likely to use those, so it's affordable for you guys. But I love this palette. But would I repurchase it? I'm not sure, because it is expensive, and when you've got dupes that are that good, it's difficult. But they're amazing palettes. So that's my top 5 favourite palettes, guys. And let me know what yours are below. Coming up next is most likely going to be my yearly favourites. They're favourite for the whole of 2015. You'll probably know a lot of the products that will end up showing up because I rant and rave about them all the time, but we'll see. And also I'm thinking about doing a brush favourite, so let me know if you want to see that, guys, okay? Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on my videos, and go follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!